When a Florida State University professor could not find enough racism to support his critical race theory views, he simply made it up. Welcome to Surviving Wokeland with Ethan Quinn, a channel dedicated to exposing and explaining the ideology driving wokeness. Scholars play a massive role in society. Their research directs government policy and society's concepts of how the world works. What people learn from their professors, they take with them into the world. These ideas then shape culture. Academics, therefore, can potentially control the process of social evolution. And for decades, Marxist academics have infiltrated Western educational institutions and presented their personal ideological views as fact. The Marxist ideology of critical race theory claims that America is systemically racist.
You are white, I am black.
White supremacy, slave trade.
Because you're white.
Racial discrimination, African Americans, black women.
White privilege. White privilege. White privilege. White people should feel a certain amount of guilt.
Black men, white analysts, black dude, racism, white dude. I am a black man. My blackness, a lot of racists out there.
Racist, 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 racist.
And that the only way to end racism is to dismantle the entire system of liberalism. In the book Critical Race Theory, An Introduction, Richard Delgado and Jean Stefanik, leading scholars on CRT, state that critical race theory questions the very foundations of the liberal order, including equality theory, legal reasoning, Enlightenment rationalism, and neutral principles of constitutional law. Driven by Marxist academics, critical race theory ideology has infiltrated every aspect of society. But CRT is a hoax that is not founded on facts. Its only purpose is to create division in society. Professor Eric Stewart has been a criminology professor at Florida State University for 16 years. During that time, he has indoctrinated countless students into his CRT beliefs. He has also published many papers on race and crime in the U.S. He has been widely cited by other researchers, and his papers have been used to influence government policies. But like critical race theory itself, Eric Stewart is a fraud, who has been falsifying data to exaggerate the prevalence of racism in American society. In one paper, Stewart claimed there was a correlation between a criminal's race and the public's desire to see harsher prison sentences for the criminal. He claimed the public wanted harsher penalties for black criminals than white criminals. However, the research proved that there was no such correlation. Stewart's claim was wrong, but that did not stop him from publishing his paper. Instead, he falsified the data so that it would support his claims. Professors who had co-authored papers with Stewart began to notice problems with them and asked Stewart for the raw data, but he never supplied it to them. Professor Justin Pickett, from the University of Albany, co-authored a paper with Stewart in 2011. He noticed that the paper published in the respected journal, Criminology, had some serious errors. The company conducting the research survey interviewed 500 people, but Stewart reported the results based on a survey of 1,184 people, meaning more than half the data was false. Professor Pickett asked Criminology to redact the paper, but so far, they have yet to. However, the editor-in-chief of Criminology, David McDowell, did acknowledge to the Chronicle that papers have been published that are complete gibberish. Two other researchers, Nick Brown and James Heathers, began investigating Stewart's work and found many problems, including in a paper from as far back as 2003, published in Justice Quarterly. After conducting an investigation, the publication retracted the paper. More scrutiny followed, and another 5 papers written by Stewart were found to have serious problems and have been retracted. So it would appear that Professor Stewart has been inventing racism for the past 20 years. He has done so for his own benefit, with no concern for the social damages false claims have caused. Professor Pickett told the Florida Standard, "There's a huge monetary incentive to falsify data, and there's no accountability. If you do this, the probability you'll get caught is so low." While Professor Stewart has now been exposed, and some of his papers have been retracted, the effects of his fraud lives on. The false claims of racism he spread have not been retracted from the minds of the people he has influenced. Critical race theory ideas have permeated the consciousness of society, with disastrous results. What Stewart has done is far more severe than academic fraud. His papers have created division and distrust between groups by pushing the false CRT narrative in a deliberate effort to increase racial tension. Society is being torn apart by the lie that is critical race theory and the fraudulent academics who are presenting this Marxist-inspired rubbish as truth. One of the left's favorite mantras is, trust the science. But it is not real science that they want us to follow blindly, but rather the propaganda they have conveniently renamed science. That is all I have for today. Please like and subscribe. And please support this channel by downloading my book, The Ministry of Truth, How Propaganda Fuels the Culture War. And join me again tomorrow as we learn how to survive woke land together. Until then, this is Ethan Quinn saying, stay free.